Hello Internet, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'll be making a 3-bean chili, and at the end you'll see that I add some macaroni, so you could call it chili mac, but honestly I just wanted a one-pot meal. Here's how I did it. First I'm going to cook off some ground turkey, that's 1 pound of ground turkey, in a pan over medium-high heat to develop some fond on the bottom of my pan. That's those brown bits there at the bottom. That's where you can develop a whole lot of flavor for your pot of chili. I'm going to deglaze that fond on the bottom of the pan by adding in my ingredients. And first I have a can of beans. More specifically, I have a can of seasoned hot pinto beans. Then I'm gonna add a can of regular pinto beans. And now I'm gonna just stir this around a little bit just to get that deglazing process started and so that I don't burn the meat to the bottom of my pan, because it is quite a hot pan. Now that that's done, I'll add a can of Great Northern beans. And now I'm just gonna add a can of black beans. And I'm just going to stir all of my ingredients together at the moment, so it's not too hard to do later to get stuff distributed. Now I'm mixing in a can of tomatoes with green chilies. You can also find this kind of pre-made in the can sections where it'll be like, ready for chili tomatoes. That's what I used. And I'm just going to add another can of those same tomatoes, just so it gets a little bit more body to it. And again, I'm going to stir those into my pot to help with distribution. Now it's time for my seasoning. I'm going to add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of ranch dressing seasoning of the buttermilk variety. And here I'm adding 2 to 3 tablespoons of chili powder. You can use more or less depending on how much chili seasoning you like. I happen to like a good bit in mine. Now it's time to add about 2 to 3 pinches of salt. Again, however salty you like your food, you can adjust this to your taste. I know that this is what I like. Now I'm going to mix everything together really well. Then I'm going to add a can of beer or a bottle of beer, whatever measurement of beer you want to use. In this case, mine is 12 ounces and it's a dark lager because that's what I like. You don't have to add the beer to this. I just happen to like it and I'm of age to add it. If you're not of age, you don't need it. Add some tomato paste and extra water and call it a day. And put it on the stove on medium to medium-low heat, whatever you need to get your pot to a good bubble, but not to where anything's going to burn on the bottom over a long period of time. You could also do this in a slow cooker at this point, because now you've cleared off the fond from the bottom of your pan and it's incorporated into the dish. But I'm just going to leave mine on the stove on medium-low and check on it in about 2 or so hours and see how it's doing. Oh, and don't forget to put a lid on it because you don't want all of the water to escape, or else you're going to end up with burned food on the bottom of your pan, and that's not what we're aiming for today. Now that it's been on the stove for about 2 hours, I'm just going to give it a nice stir and get out a tasting spoon. At this point, it's a good idea to taste it so you can see if you want any more chili powder or any more salt or pepper or what have you to add to the dish. I like mine the way it is now, so at this point I could stop and serve this. I could serve it over rice, I could serve it as is, I could serve it over spaghetti with cheese. That's a Cincinnati thing, or an Ohio in general thing now, I guess. But anyways, in this case, like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and add macaroni, call it a one-pot meal, leave it on the stove for an additional 20 or so minutes just until the macaroni is cooked through, and it'll be ready to serve. I just measured out 4 servings of macaroni, so whatever is on your box, it's usually 56 grams. I weigh my stuff by grams. You could also do, is it 2 or 4 cups, whatever the equivalent to 56 grams is in cups, which should also be written on your box. is what I've added to mine. After I added my macaroni, I realized that it was probably going to soak up all of the liquid that was in my pot of chili so far, so I'm just eyeballing how much water it might need. I'm not going to add the full amount of water as recommended on the box because I don't want chili soup. I want a hearty bowl of chili with macaroni in it. So yeah, just kind of eyeball that and figure out what you like. Now it's been about 20 minutes or so since I last checked in with you, and this is done and ready to serve up. Thanks for watching.